Folks, welcome back to the TRE. I got JOZY in the freaking building, in the studio. Man, thanks for coming on the show.
What a nice guy. Thank you for having me. I've already explained how much I just take this as a compliment of being here, so I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man. And we're going to get into a topic everyone's going to love to hear. We've already warmed up for like an hour just shooting the shit and getting it going. But I like the topic today because we're on that topic of grit, hustle, and self-discipline. And I think that you and I can really speak to that because that's stuff we got to go through every single day. And even though you're in the creator space, like artist-wise, I'm in the creator space, wellness-wise, but the underlying principles are the same. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm gonna open the floor here with my first ever story in terms of putting something out. And I want listeners to understand right now, even if you're not a creator, I want you to look at where the grit, hustle, and discipline can be applicable to your life. Whether it's a wellness journey, a career journey, all the principles are the same. So don't just think because you're not a creator, this doesn't have any relevance for you. So I'm going to open up with that, all right? But we're both creators. When I first released my podcast, I was going through the archives actually 2 nights ago. I found my first ever podcast. And I go, wow, what a throwback that was. I didn't have a beard. The setup was so minimal. It was my first time ever. And I remember putting so much work into it. I think it was like 5 hours of total production time, like insane amount of time. And I put it out so excited. I was so happy for everyone to listen to it. And I look at the data or the analytics after like a week of having it out, 3 streams. And 2 of them were me just making sure that I tested it. You know what I mean? So it was very discouraging. I was like, man, maybe I'm just not cut out for that. But, you know, I still stayed consistent. And I'm really happy that I did that to where it is today. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to ask you, like, everyone always on the gram, really, really successful. But have you ever had any failures that maybe nobody's known about?
See, now this is, I guess, what you would say to your personal clients and listeners as well. Define a failure, right? Mm-hmm. What really defines a failure? Because, and I guess this is a conversation that I've had to have with myself internally of like, what's the intent of your creation? And what's the intent of you putting it out there? And like, just like we were talking to like over there before we had everything rolling, my intention is to create the best possible song or product or album, whatever it is that I can do, and like be the best version of myself, right? And me posting it and releasing it, like, what is your intention of putting out there to the world? Because like, even that conversation of what you were saying to me of like, oh, one person complimenting your music seems so insignificant. But I'm saying, no, that's extremely significant, because let's say this, like if I release an album and I have 5 people looking at it, I could deem that as a complete failure. But what was the expectation of it? Am I putting music out there for the first time? Yes. Am I putting it out there with no background, like kind of knowledge or experience? Yes. And do I have this expectation, or do I have this like desire of wanting tens of thousands of streams? Of course, for sure. But if my album gets 100 streams in the first month, is that a failure to me? I guess you just need to define your own personal failures of what is actually successful to you. Because let's say this, like I released the album in the last month, within like the last month or 2. And before that, I was working for 1.5 years on just recording this album and polishing it up. And prior to that now, like rewind to like 2020 COVID, I'm thinking in my head like, yo, I really enjoy writing songs, but wow, I wonder if I could make an album and bring it to life. Yo, I really think I would like to do that. Wow, you think I could? And then little by little, I proved to myself like, hey, I can actually do this. Hey, I have now achieved that. I have brought this vision I've had to life, or this body of work now, and I put it out there to the world. So I could look at it as a failure because it has 100 streams, or you could look at your podcast as a failure because it only got 3 streams and you're the 2 out of 3. Or you could look at it as a success because what you just said, you put 5 hours in of work on that. How hard did you work? How much time did you prepare for that? How much like mental preparation did you have to do to take yourself out of your comfort zone and break through your box and your boundaries and put yourself out there to the world? And I guess in a number sense, it's so easy to get lost in the numbers these days on social media, Instagram, counting views, counting likes. And it's so easy to kind of like shit on yourself, for lack of a better term, and deem something a failure when you're putting it out there to the world. But like, honestly, one person complimenting my music and taking the time to listen to it, for me, is a win. Because bro, I never even thought I could do this a couple years ago, let alone have the courage to put it out or put myself out there to like public scrutiny and whatnot. So I don't know how I continue to roll with the punches. I think like I have a goal in mind of the type of numbers that I would like to do, and nothing is really a failure until then. It's just all learning experience of what I need to do differently. And when you're starting with no background experience like me and no connections and not knowing anyone, how can I have like, I saw this interview, Pop Smoke, and he was like, yeah, I got 10,000 videos on my first, or 10,000 views on my first music video. And I'm out here watching my video now, my music video. And I'm looking, I'm like, yo, like Pop Smoke got out 10K first video. I'm like, yo, what is this? 4,000? What is wrong with me? I'm like, a big thing is paying for streams. A big thing is paying the platform. I'm like, should I just be paying this? Like, what is this? Like, and then I started thinking to myself, like, what's that number on the screen there? Is that what really like deeming this a success or a failure for me? No, it's really just the art of trying to be the best I could possibly be in the avenue that I want to be in. So,
dude, I like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like defining a clear set of expectations or intentions with what you want to go forth. And I'm going to chime in with some of my things or my personal story right now with a lot of those numbers, because I usually get so lost in those numbers, probably even up to like 2 months ago. Check in every 5 minutes. Did it get X amount of views? Did it get X amount of engagement? Did the sales come in? Did more followers come in? All that other BS. And from that, I almost lost sight of the message of my wellness brand. Like I'm just posting to get views, or I'm releasing music just to get streams. It's like, are you connecting with the audience? Are you creating the things you want to create? So I made a deal with myself 2 months ago. I go, I'm going to post and I'm not going to look at any views.
good man. How'd it go?
It's good, man. Honestly,
Have you been strict to it?
yeah, I have not looked at streams.
That's the self-discipline right there.
Self-discipline. Yeah. But it was really powerful because like we just spoke about, we removed that expectation of views or followers or engagement.
Yeah.
And I'm now focusing on the content specifically.
Yep.
And I'm now judging based on what I want to put out as, did I enjoy putting it out? Am I happy with that final product? And are
Thank
people
you.
resonating with it in terms of reaching out?
I
really
that.
resonated. I like that. I need more of that.
Yeah.
And looking not at those expectations that are pretty much superficial in our day and age, right? Paying for streams, paying for views, it doesn't matter. It's not resonating because it's not real.
Yep.
So like removing those expectations for me and like not focusing on it allowed me to stay true to my path and vision. You know what I'm saying?
This is the corniest stuff ever. Like when you break it down to it, and when I say what I'm about to say, it's just like it's you versus you. How many times have you heard motivational speakers say that? A jillion. That is like the staple. It's you don't compare yourself to others. It's you versus you, and really that's what it comes down to. It's just being the best version of yourself and being like your self progression. That doesn't have to do with like the external validation will come if you are doing the steps for your own self progression. And by not paying attention to the views and the streams, there you go. What did you do? Just like what you said. Did I enjoy making this? Did I enjoy putting it out? Was I strict? Like you can feel good about meeting a deadline for yourself or sticking. Someone said this to me once when I was just like kind of like unconfidently talking about my music and like saying like, yeah, like it's very easy for people to, I guess, or for you to get down on yourself when you're not following societal norms. But someone said this when I was talking about my music, and I was talking about it unconfidently about like a couple years ago. And someone said this and it stuck with me. It's just like, hey, there's something to really be proud of following through and doing what you said you were going to do. And like being disciplined enough, self-disciplined enough to follow through on a big task and a mountain or a project that you were trying to complete and completing it. There's something to be proud of, and that's growth. And like since then, that really did stick with me. And even just like what you're saying, yo, I want to post X amount of content, X amount of days. I don't want to look at the numbers. I just want to make it the best I could possibly be. And the fact that you're able to do that, like that's progression, that's growth. And the funny thing is when they say, yo, you versus you, and that's when the success comes from you posting all that content, from you not paying attention to it, from you being disciplined enough to continue the cycle and to be like putting yourself out there day after day after day, you're probably, correct me if I'm wrong, gonna be achieving more success, like material success, numbers wise, more conversions business wise, and you're gonna feel less stressed because you're not paying attention to the numbers, you're not shitting on yourself the entire time, and you're gonna enjoy it more because just like what you said, that's a main goal. Did I enjoy what I was doing? And I feel like myself included, and for every other creator, all the people creating already know this, and all the people that want to get into it are feeling this way of like, when you don't enjoy it and it's not fun, at least with me, I get into a mood where I just say like, yo, fuck everything. Like I'm turning myself off, my brain off, fuck everything. I don't want to do this anymore because I'm feeling miserable doing it. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling discouraged. And that's not a place that anybody wants to excel in. Kudos to those that can excel in those environments. But I know with me, my soul, mind, and body need to be right for me to be able to go forward in my daily tasks. And I guess just like what you said there, be the best version of myself, whether it's myself in the gym or myself creating, myself musically, and putting the best quality things that I can put out there and also enjoy it. Because if I don't enjoy it, then exactly that. You don't want to do it anymore. That's why so many people quit and they get discouraged. So
facts.
Yeah,
one thing I'm pulling out of there, and again, back to this cliche examples, is like that process. Everyone wants the journey or the final destination. Nobody wants the process. And I'm like, hear me out.
Yeah.
Now. Like, I am that guy to be like, yo, like, just shut up. That's so cliche. I'm the first person who should take that advice. I'm always focused on the destination, the final endpoint, the goalpost. And when you do that, you get frustrated with the process because the only thing you're thinking about is why you're not at that destination, why you're not at that final goal. It's applicable for everything, for where you want to be in your career, to why people can't lose weight on the scale because they're only looking at the scale. They only want to get in the gym, get big biceps and six-pack abs. Are you even enjoying what you're doing? You keep pushing something that you don't even want to do, which is why it's so hard, which is why you don't get the result. And then you get stuck in this spiral, this cycle that you're not even fully alive doing what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And it's again, you're focusing on just like an end point. You lose sight of everything that you are, what you want to do, how you want to show up. So like, what's a good example for me? I guess when I always work with clients, the first thing they would say is, I'm not getting the weight off. I'm not getting the bench up to a certain amount. It's like, do you enjoy going to the gym? No. Yeah. You don't enjoy going to the gym? Why are you going to the gym? There's a million ways to move your body. Go do something else in a process that'll get you to that end point much faster, sustainably, and enjoyably. Yeah. Process is so huge.
And you know what's crazy to touch on that when you're saying like people are so focused on the end product and the end goal. It's just like when you take in that dude with the six-pack abs that just like looks shredded that you want to be like is, without having that mental right, is still feeling like shit. You're just going to have the six-pack abs and the nice pecs and then whatever type of body you want, and it's still not going to be self-satisfying. Why? Because you're not right here. You need to be right here before moving forward. And I guess that's something that we didn't really talk about back there, but that's something that I'm learning so much more about myself, is that just like that, I guess also cliche that a lot of people may be feeling uncomfortable to talk about. And I don't really... I don't think that this has to be religion specific at all. And I think religion and spirituality is completely different, but I'm a big believer in the cliche of soul, mind, and body. And when you're focused on the end goal and it's like the materialistic end goal, it's never gonna be satisfying when you get to taste it. Because why? You were doing it for the wrong reasons and the intention was not there. The positive, correct intention was not there. Like, why did I want 10,000 streams just because Pop Smoke had it on a like he said that in an interview. I didn't even fact check him. He could have lied about that. Like, I don't even know if he did or not, right? So like, what? Am I going to feel like a champion because now I have what did that do for me? Like, honestly and truly, and I really do dabble with, and creators would know of do I pay third-party platforms to juice the streams or juice the views or put this out there? And does it make me look like more credible? When I know so many people are out there faking it, do I just join in or do I wait and try and do it organically, or does it even make a difference? But then what I realize, and you would attest to this running your own business, is what does it matter if a 10,000 number is on the screen if I don't have real people like you actually listening to the music, actually that's why when you said that back there, like, oh, one person is so like seems insignificant. I'm like, nah, bro, it seems so significant because that's a real person taking the time out of their day to consume what you're putting out there to the world. And that's like the biggest compliment I could ever ask for. And when you're you're out here worried about like, yeah, let's say this, the six-pack abs and the nice pecs or whatever the case is. Now you have that, but you still hate going to the gym. You have that, but you're still self-conscious. You thought that that was going to give you confidence, but really the confidence came right here, or that's where it's supposed to come from first and foremost. Now you have that, and you're still just as self-conscious. How many juiced up roids heads are self-conscious?
Oh, all of them. All of them probably have body image complex.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So... yeah, man. You can see I'll go and talk for 2 hours on one topic. We're not going to get through this list, bro.
No, it's good. No, I like what you're saying too. And it kind of ties into like where I want to touch on now is where our generation is. It's like that achievement mindset. It's the hustle. It's the go mode. If you're not obtaining or achieving, you have no value. And I know as guys, we get that so bad. And I want to know for you, I want your opinion. This achievement mindset, the growth mindset, the constant pursuit of more and success, is that toxic for us or is it beneficial to us?
See, and when you even were reading those questions to me, I was interested in this one and giving my opinion on it because it's something that, like I said, I've had to develop more as a person recently in that area because it kind of goes back to everything is... it's so annoying when you have conversations with your parents or whoever and they're like, see, this is all goes back to these core values that I've been telling you since you were a kid. See, it all has to do with this, right? And you could kind of link, everything is so similar in retrospect that you could link what I was just saying to, or your question to the first of thing that I was saying of define what a failure is to you. So I've had to go, because this is about, correct me if I'm wrong, you're asking me about progression and wanting more. Is that mindset toxic or is it positive? And I think that is subjective, just like the failure thing. It's subjective to you and how you look at the question. Is the intention there? And is the intention pure? Is the intention to continuously be in that hustle mindset, in that progression mindset? Is it there because you want to grow as a human being and be the better version of yourself in whatever avenue you want to apply yourself in? Is it because you want to be a better artist, make more records, share it with more people? Or is it because you want to make money? Or is it because you want to be able to look like this guy that's taking ab selfies in the gym and you want to post ab selfies because you're trying to get girls or whatever the case is? Bro, if the intention was there just to get girls, you could do it a lot differently. Right? So I think that to answer your actual question, it's subjective. For me, I think that it is healthy and positive as long as you look at it in a healthy and positive way. I really appreciate your honesty and you are, I guess, humble enough to admit when you're not even taking your own advice type of thing and you needed to do a better job at it. And it's just that human aspect to you that we all have. And especially with me, when I look at it in a unhealthy way and look at that, I guess, notion in an unhealthy way of I'm doing this because I want that 10,000 on the screen. I'm doing this because I want to sell out the ACC. I'm doing this for outside validation. No, it's not healthy. But when I do it because I want to make the best music I could possibly make, or I want to really just create, and this is something that I would need to keep inside of me too, is that, at least for me personally, why I'm making music and why I'm doing what I'm doing is because I would like to, as you can see here from this conversation, I like to talk. I like to communicate with others. And I'm a big storyteller. Music is just telling stories in a different way, a different art form. Before music, I was really into acting. And and I would like to, my goal is to share my energy with others, whether it's coming on here and talking to you and connecting with you, whether it's connecting with someone through a song for whatever vibe the song may be. And in all honesty, I really love music. I love melody. I love rapping. I love singing. I love that energy and putting good energy into it and sharing it with people. So when it's for those reasons and when I keep that mindset with me, yes, it is positive and it is healthy. But when I switch up and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I only got 100 streams. I spent all day making this piece of content and 12 people are seeing it on my Instagram. Like, yo, fuck this Instagram algorithm, all that. So many people have been here. That's toxic. Or are you just making the content for the Instagram algorithm, or were you making it to positively put it out there and share it with others? So
Yo, I love that intention, the pure intention aspect behind that. That's so good, man.
Yeah, you didn't prep me on that. I
No.
want to say this.
Yeah, that's just
you
right
didn't
off,
prep me
right
on
off the
this.
cuff.
I
man.
really believe it. I'm not selling nothing. Don't buy my book or anything like that. I'm not selling anything right now.
No, man, but I really like that because I feel like our generation's very, and again, not to front anyone or insult anyone, it's very egotistical, it's very materialistic, and it's very fake.
Yeah.
It's very fake. So to have someone come on and say, like, what is your proper intention just to freaking make music? Like, that's so genuine, man.
I'm growing up.
Yeah,
Joe's
real.
learning. And you know, but in all honesty, the only reason why I'm out here chatting this positive shit and this message here is because I'm a victim of what you just said. Like, or not, I'm a victim. I'm
Survivor.
No, yeah, well, I guess so. It's not like hell that I went through, but like it's just, like I'm a culprit of it. No, like I
Bought into it.
yeah, I bought into that toxic lifestyle as well, and like that negativity and that artificialness, the materialistic type of way that social media is. And I've just learned of like going throughout the years and putting myself out there in making content in different ways of like, yo, why am I actually doing this? And what am I actually doing? And so many times, like if the answer is to get girls or the answer is to make money, I've seen so many posts. No one that's making music should make it because they want to make money. Like there's way easier and better ways to make money than make music. You should really be making music if you love it and you want to put that energy into it and share it with others. So yeah, if the intention is not there, that these are concepts that I'm currently learning. I've learned this only within the last year or two, and I'm constantly growing because I'm often finding myself in a negative state in which you were talking about. Same thing. Your story about the content, I can relate. Your story about the clients with the gym and they want to lose X, Y, and Z just to look like this guy or just to look this way. I'm a culprit of that too. So
we all are, man.
Yeah.
It's what we see. And honestly, one realization that I'm remembering right now is when you're talking about the pure intention behind what you're doing. I've recently switched up my schedule in terms of like daily routine with workout. Okay, I used to work out every day like 5:30, 6 a.m. But when you go to the gym at that time consistently, you realize only like 20 to 30 people only in your gym. Like it's always the same people.
Okay.
And they're always the same core. But recently I started switching up to like 5, 6 p.m. So now I sleep in a little bit and then I break up my day with the gym session in the middle. It's a very different crowd and a very different energy from the people in the gym from the morning and the night. I'm going to give you an example. In the morning, people are there to feel good, mood boost. They just want to move their body and they want to work out. It's a very down-to-earth crowd, I find. Very friendly, it's just very genuine energy, okay?
Okay.
And the reason I say that is when I go to the gym afterwards, like 5, 6, it's more of like the younger crowd, the more influencer, like everyone's taking selfies. Everyone is ego lifting. Every guy, I know you ego lift. I know for a fact you know what that is. Everybody is doing intention or action at the gym from I want to say like lower vibe standpoint. Nobody in the morning is taking nobody takes selfies in the morning at my gym.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, nobody ego lifts. Everybody's very friendly in terms of sharing equipment, and it's just you can see the polarity between good intention and not good intention, and that's just the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I completely agree. You know what? Honestly, I haven't been disciplined enough. I'm not even going to break it down to discipline. I've never even wanted to go to the gym at 5:30. So if I want to, I'll do it. But I need to test that out with my gym. I need to test that out with my crowd. But I like the concept of breaking it up, though, in the middle of the day. Obviously, you can just see, like, hey, like, you can, what you're saying there is just like you observing natural habits of society. And what I'm observing in life and like on the internet these days is just like same type of toxicity, I guess. But I do like breaking up my day with a workout. I can't lie. So, but maybe I'll go around like 1 p.m. then.
That's like a nice midday break.
That's a midday break. If like your schedules align. And now, because then you're running into all the people after work too at the gym at that time. I can't lie. You're running into the dinner rush. That's hectic. No, I don't want that. Yeah.
So we talked about, we're going to touch on your daily routine actually towards the end. So put a pin in that right now. I want to ask you about your vision for your career. You're talking about all these great things and this mindset that you embody. Where do you see JOZY from today? Let's say like 5 years down the road. Do you even think that far ahead? I'm curious.
This is crazy. This is something that gives me anxiety. I can't lie. This guy gave me like this guy. Yeah, no. This is something that like, so when you said like, 5 years down the road, when I look at it like that in my music career, that's when it starts stressing me out. And I was just having a conversation with my producer actually, and because I guess everybody that's kind of going against societal norms and on a creative path, whether they're making their own brand or making their own company in music, whatever it is, things can get overwhelming, and at least for me, it does when it's not structured. And when I'm looking at things like I have a to-do list that's a mile high. I got a shit ton of things that I need to do within like the next few months that I look at. And when I look at it that way, it stresses me out to a T. Like the people around me know, like, yo, every single day, I'm like, no, don't talk to me. I got no free time. I got this to do. I got a list. Look at the list right here. But accomplishing that list that might be a mile high, for me at least, I need to break that down into small little daily tasks and daily goals and daily visions to make up a month, or to make up a week, then a month, then a year. And then like, hey, I'll start thinking about the 5-year mark, I guess a little bit later on down the road. Where would I like to be? What is my vision and my dream? Honestly, I guess if I can have like a dream career to model myself off of, or to like that I would desire to have like a similar model and structure. I've said this before in talking to others, but it would be a very similar career like Russ has. You're familiar with him?
Yeah. He's like his own entity too, right? He's not signed at all, right?
Well, he was signed for a little bit, and like he's done like small deals with a record label, but pretty much like he's always kind of had creative control over his own business and how he runs things. And he's super successful to the point where he can book his own shows, where he can, like, you know what I always say about this guy? I'm like, yo, this guy is sick. And even though personally I'm not a huge fan of his music, but I'm a huge fan of him as a person. And I guess, I don't know if the man ever heard this, like, to me, that's more of a compliment. It's just like, yo, I've listened and I am a fan of some songs, but I'm more a fan of you as a dude because I think you're a genuine person. And I like the way you run your artistry and your business as an artist. And I say this all the time. It's like, yo, this guy just makes music in his basement. He still like has his mom and his family and his loved ones close to him, and is able to put music out to the world and has a platform of millions. Like he has millions of people sharing that he can share his artwork with. He can go on tours. He can sell out whatever type of venues he wants and like make and collaborate with the biggest artists. But he does it on his terms, at least to what it seems like to the public eye. And if I could have a 5-year plan or 5-year goal, vision, dream, it would to what I'm working towards is a career like that. So,
Like,
go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, like, I can't really think of it as like a 5-year standpoint. Like at the 5-year mark, I need to be here, because that just stresses me the fuck out. But that is the type of structure that I want to push myself and my business and my brand towards. And it gives me comfort breaking it down daily, weekly, monthly, yearly type of thing.
But it's not necessarily like X amount of streams, X amount of albums. It's like, here's a lifestyle I want to live.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, thank you. Buddy, you answered that question for me beautifully.
No, I just put the
pieces together. Yeah, that one was chopping me up for a second. But yeah, exactly. A lifestyle that I would want to live. I really mess with that guy, Russ. I like him a lot. So
I like that you didn't do like specific things, and you did the lifestyle, because back when I was doing like health psychology for a lot of my content, the biggest thing I always said was continuous versus non-continuous goals. And that's one of the reasons that not a lot of us feel fulfilled when we get our goals. Most of us set non-continuous goals, 10 pounds, 3 albums, $100 million.
But what does it mean when you get there?
Because you haven't defined the intention, you haven't defined the values, like you just defined the end goal.
Yeah.
But what's really good was with non-continuous goals, very similar to lifestyle. I don't want to be an entrepreneur who makes $5 million a year. I want to be an entrepreneur that can travel the world, really impact people, and do the stuff I love to do every day. I know the lifestyle.
Yes.
And when you do that, you're not ever unfulfilled because you got what you wanted, because you have to live it every day to live in alignment with your values and goals.
And then you just start asking yourself, okay, what do I need to do? What are the steps of me taking so I can live that lifestyle? And those are my now quarterly goals or monthly goals, weekly goals. Okay. You just start breaking that down. Because what you just said there is so true about like, yeah, we can relate it to the gym, we can relate it to the 10,000 streams or whatever the case is. I ask myself often, and this is especially when I'm in like a toxic, like fuck everything type of mood, where I'm like, what is this all for? What is this about? Oh, that's a deep question, because then you can explode that to like life and the world and what you're doing here as a human being. Questions I constantly ask myself is like, what are we doing here? What is this all for? Why am I stressing over 10,000 streams? Is that really going to matter when like I'm 85 years old and on my deathbed, or if I die tomorrow in a car accident, whatever the case is? It's like, yo, what is the purpose? And that goes back to intention of like, what's my purpose here in the world? What do I want to do with my time, and how do I want to do it, right?
What do you want to do with your time?
It's specific to each person. There's no right or wrong way. And I guess even going back and relating it to you, being observant in the gym and what type of clientele are there at what times, there's so many times that I'm looking at kind of like society and life, and what I'm observing is so many miserable people. And like so many people that are in a negative, toxic place in their world and in their bubble, in their life. And I guess to break it down to like all corny sayings, I just want to be happy. I just want to enjoy like what, like I always ask myself this question, and I've shared this with friends. Like you could have bare minimum. You could like live in a shack on the beach in some very poor place, X, Y, and Z. You could have like so little materialism and be so happy and fulfilled like internally. Or you could have why there's so many rich people that are miserable, that are not happy with their life, right? They have so much materialistic things, and that doesn't bring internal fulfillment, right? So at least with me and where I am, it doesn't have to do with that non-continuous goal of the 10,000 streams, 3 albums. Okay, bro, now you have 3 albums. Now you have 10,000 streams. Now what? Right? Oh, you really want 10,000 streams that bad? Like, you can go put $1,000 down on this platform. We're going to get you 10,000 streams. Might be from fake bot accounts. And now what do you do with that? What was the intention behind it all? So
that's beautiful, man. I'm glad you bring that up too, because I recently got a lot into, this is going to be more juju, more manifestation, visualization. I think it's really powerful for a lot of the stuff we're going to do, especially if we have a lot of big goals. And the other day I was sitting, I took my longboard out to the lake, and I was like, oh, why am I so down bad today? Like just in one of those moods where just, you want to put the world away. That's where I was at. Yeah. And I'm at the lake, and I'm thinking to myself, I go, I've written down and like vision boarded everything I wanted to do, from travel to what I wanted to do for business, how I wanted to live my life, what I wanted my relationship to look like, all these different facets of life. And I go, I've achieved like probably 95% of it. Like, I'm really grateful for that. I work hard. But at the same time, I go, why am I defining all these things that I want? Why am I at the lake right now, absolutely down bad? And as I'm thinking about that, the biggest realization I had was everything I wrote down on my vision board, everything I wrote down for my long-term plan, I never wrote, I want to be happy. I never wrote that. I was like, why do we not ever think about how we want to feel or how we want to embody or how we want to show up? Yeah. It's always right to those non-continuous goals, those finite things that we think will bring happiness, without defining, I want to be happy and how do I be happy? Yeah,
they don't. But then now you can really break it down. And that's like, I feel like a lot of people shy away from that too, because it's like, okay, well, I know if I want to go on this vacation, I need to set aside X amount of dollars a month, and it's going to get me this vacation. What's like, that's a way easier equation than asking yourself, how do you become happy? Right? Tough, okay. Bro. Now what do you need to do? And that's a lot of just like what you're saying. Like, okay, people are going to say, oh, this is whack. This is juju type of spirituality, manifestation, all that, type of stuff in that I guess avenue. But these are things that as I'm getting older and I'm more observant of the world around us and all the negative energy that's out there, I really appreciate those concepts more. I need to keep those with me because, like I said, when I'm not well, like when I'm not well internally and I'm not feeling good and I'm having a longboard at the lake type of day, and like I've been saying, I call those like a screw everything type of moment of like, I don't want to do any of this anymore. It's not good. I can't function well in that type of place. And a lot of people feel that way. Like we were just saying, like, why are so many people unhappy or not content, or they get those goals and it's not self-fulfilling. Their appetite is not full. And like, I guess realistically, that's a lot harder of a task than to just put the $20 away so you can go on a cruise at the end of the year, right?
True, man.
A lot of more internal work.
Yeah.
And it's specific to each person.
It is specific to each person.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you then, on those screw everything days, is that what you call them?
No, fuck everything
The
days.
fuck everything
Yes.
days. Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about those days for you specifically then. Do you still push yourself to go make music and work, or how do you pull yourself out of it, or how do you just like get through it? I'm curious. Bro.
I see what you're doing here.
Yeah.
This goes inside with perseverance and grit mentality.
Back to the title, man.
Yeah, hustle mentality. And so I guess on those days, to connect everything back together again, I need to ask myself first and foremost and check myself of, okay, and this kind of goes back to as well your, I think, second question for me of if that lifestyle is toxic or not, or if that grit and hustle and like go push forward type of mentality or lifestyle is a positive or negative one for me specifically. And a lot of times it's just go, go, go. And what people don't, or at least what myself, I think others as well, don't realize is that even, especially when you're in a creative avenue and like entrepreneur avenue, building your brand, building your business, even if I'm not physically working on something, mentally I'm working on it.
All the time. Bro.
Yeah.
All the time.
Exactly. So even if I'm not physically in the studio, I'm mentally thinking about what I need to do, or I'm thinking about the next song I'm going to write, or what needs to go here, or what needs to go there, what emails I need to send, and when I don't give myself enough time, so on those days, those screw everything days, a lot of the time it's just like, bro, do you need to turn your brain off for a second? Like, cool, yeah, like I didn't work a 16-hour shift, but mentally I'm out here staring at this giant ass mountain I need to climb because those are my goals and my dreams at the top of the mountain. But bro, like, you need rest, recovery, you need to have balance. And then at the same time, I always try to ground myself of like, yo, why am I doing this? And then if the answer is like, to your point about making content and your schedule, is like, am I enjoying what I'm doing? I'm reading this book and it's all about like creativity. It's not music specific. It's just about the creative act and being a creator. No one is forcing you to do anything. No one's forcing you to build your brand, build your company. Nobody's forcing me to do and create music and build my own like artist identity. I'm blessed to even be in that position. So, hey, yo, if you don't want to do this anymore, don't do it, bro. Nobody's forcing you. If you don't want to make this content in this way, nobody's forcing you to do it in that way. Maybe there's another way for you to do it. What's the intention? Is the intention to get people listening to your music? Yeah. So, hey, do you want to be like a cookie cutter, like all these, or like follow these like trends and what's like trending in the moment? Or do you want to do something your way? Were you happy with what you did today? Do you feel, I guess I personally feel self-rewarded and proud of myself when I am, feel accomplished and I'm accomplishing tasks. So, hey, does this give you a sense of accomplishment, or do you feel stupid doing it? Like, you know what I mean? So on those screw everything days, I need to root myself back to intention. Do I need to turn my mind off? Do I need a break? And what is my overall goal here? What do I love to do? And that's what I've come to realize, that I really love making music, and I really love making it with my partner and the people that I've been working on it with. And I want to continue to do that. And I kind of just go back to the intention of, yeah, what are you doing? Why do you want to do it? What do you love? And if the goal is to share that energy and share it with the world, hey, there's a million ways. It's just like the same guy that's like, oh, I want to go to the gym and get a six pack to get girls. Bro, there's a dozen of ways you could have got girls, right? So, yeah.
The intentionality is huge for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. See, when I'm in one of those, like, I don't want to do anything kind of days, put the world away, I don't want to work on my stuff. I always find it as a time to say, where's the problem lie? Like, what am I continuing to do every day that's making me feel this way? And I like, if you're somebody who's a type A, you have lots of goals, you're piling stuff onto the plate all the time. Yes, I want that. I'm kind of down to collab. I want to do this. I want to take this on. I want to learn this. There's a lot of stuff that comes with the goals and the big vision that we all want for ourselves. When I sit down and think, why over the last 3 or 4 weeks am I really at my tipping point now? And I'll slowly isolate what is new in my life. What is something I've just taken on? What is something that I hate and I'm continually procrastinating on? Those are the things that are throwing you out of alignment. At least this is my personal perspective. And then that's the first place I look to remove or set proper boundaries in.
Yeah.
When you're not, or when you find friction, or when you're with low energy or you're low vibe, you're out of alignment. You're off path. Find ways to either remove that from your path or get back onto your journey or onto that path. So for me, it's kind of like, let's lay it all out on a placemat, bird's eye view, and what can we start dissecting? You know what I'm saying?
And I think that there's also, and like everything I kind of bring back to in life, there's balance in everything, especially like linking that to nutrition. I think there needs to be balance in everything. So to that argument, there's also like the extreme other side of things where there's like that person that's just like, I'm just going to lay on the couch all day, every day, because you know what? I don't like doing this. I don't like doing this. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing anything. And like for me, I guess it does need to be a little bit of balance with that too, because I also know that when I'm getting that pushback from myself internally, sometimes it's actually positive for pushback, and it's because I'm outside of my comfort zone and I'm just growing. Like sometimes I do need to, I guess self-awareness is huge. You need to be self-aware enough to kind of, when you have those like alarm lights going off, is it alarm lights that you're putting in there mentally to hold you back, that you need to push forward and like break through your comfort zone? Or is it those alarm lights that you actually need to say, okay, this needs to change, this needs to pause? Because I feel like a lot of people get complacent when they take that concept to the extreme of like, okay, well then I'm never going to do anything outside of my comfort zone. I'm never going to do any of that because like, I don't feel that great doing it. And like, I feel great like staying on TikTok all day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So balance, moderation.
So I'm curious. I'm curious, man. Where do you procrastinate the most with? What avenue do you procrastinate the most?
Dude, I gotta think about that. I'm like, well, where's all the avenues, huh?
Yeah.
I'm definitely... One second.
Yeah, he's been...
maxing out on my words for the day, buddy. I definitely don't procrastinate. This is... Now, when you look at that, I can like look into the things that I like the most. When you're asking yourself this question now, I've never asked myself this question, so I am thinking about it internally, but I realize what I love to do the most, what I don't ever procrastinate on, is writing songs, making music, and recording. Don't ever procrastinate on that. What I'm procrastinating on the most would definitely be in regards to my marketing. I think, no, not even, I wouldn't say in regards to my marketing. I think everything starts within you internally, which is kind of like a theme of this conversation. And I guess shifting my mindset for me to able to achieve my goals. It's like, if I know, first and foremost, it starts with me, right? So right now in my life, I'm having a roadblock or difficulty with setting up my weekly schedule to excel at multiple things. The 4 things I've been talking about. Sorry, excuse me.
Nice.
4 things I've been talking about with my circle that I want to excel at is writing music, recording music, promoting music, like putting it out there and releasing it, and then sharing it. Like, so I guess you would say writing, recording, releasing, and promoting, marketing, sharing it out there with the world. Also, like on a more personal level, aside from music, I want to balance the gym because it's very important to me. I don't feel good when my body doesn't feel good. Kind of everything, soul, mind, and body connection. If one of those things are off, I don't feel good now. And then I need to balance that alongside with work because my music at this point has not been making me revenue. I've been putting all my revenue towards it. And I need to balance work and what I do for income. And then I also want to balance like relationships, family, people that I love. So that's a lot of things right there. I think I got up to like maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And what I'm procrastinating, I guess maybe the most on is the mental shift to just put myself in more of a successful structure.
Okay.
Because when I'm not reaching my weekly goals or my daily goals, I'm asking myself why. Okay, why is that? Okay, is it because I stayed up too late the night before? Is it because I didn't wake up on time? Is it because I set some unrealistic goals for myself that day? Is it because, like, knowing me and the person I am, like, there was no way I was ever going to achieve that and I still put it on my list and now I feel like shit about it? What is it? So I really need to shift that mindset within myself of whatever it is that's holding me back from week to week. And yeah, I guess that's easy to procrastinate on because it's very easy to stay in your comfort zone or continue to. I find myself like often getting into cycles, and it's not to say that I'm unproductive or anything like that. I've told you about my routine of going back and forth from London every week. I go to work, I work out, I write music, I record it. I'm doing all those things that I said, but I want to get more efficient at it and faster at it and excel more. I really want to master those things. So in regards for me to do that, I need to get better at it. And I need to shift my mindset first and foremost, and then shift my kind of daily routine. And that's been a little bit of procrastination. I need to definitely take myself outside of that cycle of, hey, if I'm doing this at like a B plus or A minus, how do I get myself to like an A plus success rate, A plus plus, right? So
what I resonate with there, and I've struggled with that too, is that mindset shift from taking like from a state of being just prepared, doing all these things to like lay a foundation. I was always hesitant and procrastinated to actually like put some skin in the game at that point. It's like, you got the offer down, you got the structure that you want to do. How much more are you going to tweak before you start really like taking action? I want shit to hit the fan and then be there when shit hits the fan.
that's a
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
For the longest time, I would always say, I can't launch this yet because we got to prepare this. Or I can't, release that because we got to tweak this.
Dude, that's actually been me with my album. But then
Straight up, yeah.
essentially that goes back to your mindset. It's not these things that are physically holding you back. It's just the way you're looking at it. And I guess that's everything. That's what so many like successful entrepreneurs are saying in regards to like generational wealth. It's the way you're looking at your lifestyle and your structure and your income structure. It's not, there's nothing physically holding you back. It's just the way that you're looking at things.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I guess it's easy to get into a cycle and then crash, burn out. And then I guess more self-aware people will ask themselves why. I know so many people that are not self-aware that continue that toxic cycle, and it's just a like rinse and repeat. But yeah,
for every area of life, not even just for like, entrepreneurial or career wise.
Yeah.
Even I used to work with a client one time, and no disrespect, but she would never get into the gym because she was always looking for the best sets. Or like the sets to wear. She was always looking for the best workouts, planning and structuring the workout. It's like, you just got to work out.
Yeah.
You just got to go.
You don't even need to be at the gym. You can just work out, right? You just do the push-ups.
But it's like that roadblock from shifting, like I'm in a safety net to now I'm actually accountable for the outcome that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to be accountable because if it goes really well, then okay, maybe I'll say, I did a good job. But if it didn't go well, I'm going to find a way to put the blame on anything else, man.
But that's back to the what's a failure type of thing. Because if you, quote unquote, fail forward, learn from your failures, you know what I mean? If it's not a failure, if it's just a learning curve, then it's not a failure. If you're looking at it as a learning curve, it's not a failure. If I like, it's very easy for me to say my album's not a success because I'm not super famous and I don't have millions of followers and I don't have Pop Smoke numbers right now. But like, yo, look how long you worked on that. Or even that client of yours, like if she went and got into the gym one day and completed her workout, that's not a failure whatsoever. Like, yo, you actually just went and did the thing that was mentally you were holding yourself back from for months. But then on the flip side, what was the intention by it too? What's the intention of like, yo, you need the matching sets or you need everything to be perfect and yada, yada, yada. Like I know with me, with my music, for the longest time, and still now I'm kind of disconnecting myself from that. I'm happy to say mentally I've grown from this stage. A lot of artists, or even, it doesn't even have to be artists, creators, let's say creators. You're creating a brand, you're creating a business. I'm creating music and my own brand and my own business. So just like what you're saying, I don't want to launch a website because everything needs to be like this. But what if I did it like this? It could be more perfect. Now I see it like this. Like that perfectionism, that's
deadly, man.
Yeah, that is deadly. Because, and what I learned about okay, let's not say artist, let's just say creator. It's never going to be perfect. It can always be better. You can always be revising the mixes and the masters 10 years later. Your opinion will always change too. That's what's crazy when it's like that you versus you attitude is you're going to look at this next week and feel differently about it, tweak it so your website's perfect for you. And then next year your mindset's going to change or your opinion's going to change. Be like, yo, I wish it was this way. Does that mean it's a failure? Nah.
Learning curve.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least what I'm learning and what I think is crucial as somebody that's making music and putting it out there with the world is being content with, like, I guess going back to what that guy told me that one time, like just finishing something that you set out to do and being content with putting it out there to the world. A piece of art like music or a novel that you write, whatever, your website that you create, your opinion of what's perfect is always going to change as your opinion changes, as you grow as a person. If you talk to me and my opinion in 2018 to now, it's completely different, right? But when I look at this album that I just released, and even though I'm telling you over there, yo, I'm way past this album, I'm glad if you like it, but like physically and mentally, like at this stage of me as an artist, if you like this album, I'm way better now. I made this album like it was done a year and a half ago. I've just got the confidence to start releasing it now. I got to be content with like, yo, this is me at this point in my life. This was the 2021 Joe releasing this. And people are going to listen to that. Obviously, it's human nature. It's a reflection of me. But I know internally, as a reflection of me as an artist, all this stuff here, what I'm making right now is where I'm at currently. And I can't go sit there for the rest of my life and keep adjusting this one project or this one album because I will never get to share the abundance of beautiful things here that I have for the world if I'm so focused on the perfectionism aspect. So, yeah, more good concepts.
Yeah.
I don't even know what question I was answering. I think I was just talking, bro. Sorry, buddy.
No, it's good. It's good. Okay, man, we're going to wrap it up here with this final question.
Yes, sir.
Now, I want you to, if you got to take a second to think, because this is going to resonate with a lot of listeners.
I'm excited.
Right now, what is one habit or piece of advice you would tell old Joe that you do frequently today that would really move the needle and expedite your whole journey in learning? Like if you had to go back, you were sitting across from him right now, say, I need you to do this, or I want you to look at things like this. What would that be?
Okay. All right.
That's a good one, eh?
Yes, it is a good one. And with me, I already know the answer. Like with me, I can actually really pinpoint it down. And I guess already I sense myself having like a slight hesitation to even say this because it sounds like so cheesy and corny and whatnot. Like if you want to break it down to societal norms. But I would really break it down to, I would tell old Joe to focus more on your internal well-being, your spirituality, your mental health, your soul, mind, and body aspect. And that's something that I do much more now. And in the last maybe like 3-4 years, that has really pushed the needle for me to be where I am, like the person I am today, who I'm very proud of. And looking back at a person and like, I don't know, looking back at like a 20-year-old kid per se that's like going through a lot of changes, that's what put me in this place where I'm very happy and blessed to be in right now. I'm not where I want to be overall, like I said, that 5-year plan, but I'm so proud of where I am today and the steps that I'm constantly taking. And I know that if I wasn't focused on that I would not be here. Because, and the reason why I say this, if I may explain,
absolutely,
is that when you're focused on yourself and like, let's say this, you're focused on your spiritual health and then your mental health, you really need to look in a mirror and be honest with yourself and be honest. If you pray to God, be honest with God. If you are just, I don't know, whoever you pray to or whoever you're looking at, even if it's just yourself or the universe, a lot of people like to put it, there's no hiding. Like, that's a thing that if I'm in meditation and prayer and like thinking of my more spiritual health, it's like there's no hiding from the person in the mirror. You're just lying to yourself. There was a quote somebody said, so motivational speaker is not me whatsoever, but they were just like, you're the only person that you've heard all your lies to. You're the only person that have heard every lie you've ever told, because you are constantly saying that. That's a bar, eh?
That's good, bro.
You're the only one that's heard any lie you've ever told. And when you're looking at yourself from an honest point of view and I guess you will know, like, wholeheartedly, like, you're a fool if you're praying to whoever you're praying to, whatever, if you want to call it God, the universe, or whatnot, and you're trying to lie. That's foolish, right? Because if you believe in those type of things, then you believe that whoever it is that you're praying to, or even if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you believe that that light inside you, your life force, is true and pure, then you would need to be true and pure to it and ask yourself these true questions. Mentally, I need to shift my mindset. Like, if you're thinking like soul, mind, and body connected, I used to work out in high school so much. I was like No Leg Joe. You got a name for me in your phone, but like that, my other name was like No Leg Joe since high school.
No.
And I was just living on the bench press, and I was ego lifting, like you were saying, and I was pushing a lot of weight. And I could say that, okay, well, I have the body aspect down pat. But I was the guy with the six pack and the abs and the nice pecs and blah, blah, blah. And that didn't really fill my appetite. Is really all three things for me need to be in balance and need to be right. And all those internal aspects first and foremost, so that I can be the best person that I am. Whether or not it's music, whether or not, who gives a crap what you want to do in this life and what your avenue is. You can do anything you want to do. But for me, I can't excel in any avenue I want to put myself in if I'm not internally right, soul, mind, and body. And in the last few years, what took me up to here is shifting my mindset and focusing on those things and valuing those things and looking at like the world around me and seeing who and what aspects and what type of energies I don't want to associate myself with. Where is my circle? What does my life look like? What do the people around me look like? What type of man do I want to be as a 26-year-old? And focus on those things, not focus on the materialism and all that 10K pop smoke numbers and all that other bullshit. So
damn, man, that's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, man. And I know we're coming up here on the hour mark now, so I want to give you the stage before we leave. Yeah. First of all, congrats on the album release. It's
Thank you.
Freaking phenomenal, man. Tell listeners where they can go check you out, listen to your stuff, and just stay in contact after this episode, man.
All
Stage
right.
is yours.
JOZY period. So JOZY on all streaming platforms. Instagram, JOZY.boy. I'm on TikTok as well. YouTube. Every platform is there. Type in JOZY. You'll get the album. Album's called 20 for 20. It's out now. Thank you, my brother, for having me. And like I said, being here and answering these questions, and even you caring about having my opinion on your platform is nothing but a compliment. So you're the man. Thank
Absolutely,
you, bro.
man. No, thanks for coming on. And listeners, we're going to link everything he said in the show notes, wherever you're listening to it too. So you can click over, click through, check his album out, man. It's actually phenomenal. The way the versatility happens from the slow jams and the feels, hard tracks. He's got everything. So seriously, check him out. And bro, thank you for coming on the show.
Brother, thank you. Hey, I appreciate it.